My name is Tayong. I am a seasoned leadership coach today with over 35 years of continuing professional development. I started my career as a journalist on Cameroon television and moved later to international diplomacy after graduating from International Relations Institute of Cameroon. I was with the UN for close to over 10, 15 years and traveled extensively all over the world, supporting international development, supporting peace building efforts, and also improving on UN visibility and branding. So after which I decided to take my break and move into something new. I went back to school in Harvard University in the United States, where I specialized in international conflict management. Later on to Jack Welch Management Institute in Washington, where I did an executive MBA in general management and leadership. I have a Jack Welch executive MBA, which is something rare to find. And later on to go to California, where I did a master's in international events management. So I am a man of many portfolios, I want to say, but today I put all of that into one basket and I call it leadership. I have a DNA. I come from a family, and I have a family DNA where my father was I was highly inspired by my father's leadership of my family, and using his soft skills, which I found very different in many people, which he had. My father had extraordinary soft skills. Tayong, that's his name. And I admired the way he managed a lot of problems. I liked the way he communicated with his audiences, his clients. I admired the way he brought everybody in our quarter in Babenda together. Everybody loved him. Every parent wanted to be by him. Every son, every child on holidays wanted to spend time with him when they came on holidays. And I asked, what does this guy have? Then I discovered that it was all about leadership. When I went to business school in the United States, I also fell in love with somebody called Jack Welch, which is my mentor, coach, professor, and he greatly inspired me to move into leadership. All through my life, I wanted to be more useful than I am, touching people, making people better than me, and seeing that people are motivated. So what really brought me into leadership is my passion for people. Because today leadership sells, it wins. The whole world has been overmanaged and underled, and everybody's been talking about management for the last 2,000 years. And when you look at what management has done in terms of results and performance, management is just 20%. Leadership today is 90%. And leadership today is not just good, it's great, because it's a winning thing. Once you have leaders in your organization, you're sure to see transformation, you're sure to see excitement. Leaders have what? They have influence. Management does what? Management is the art of getting things done through people. My mentor, Peter Drucker, says so. But leadership is the art of influencing people to carry out organizational objectives. So what do you want to have? You want to have influence. And influence doesn't just come easily. Influence comes as a combination of what? First thing I call is character. What is your character? How does your character in the workplace influences people to behave? We call your character behaviors. What kind of behavior are you putting in your job that can motivate, inspire people to act? And the second thing is your competence. What competence do you have? What competences do you have? Are you a great communicator? Are you good in your hard skills, which I think a particular area of specialization? Those are the competencies that identify you. Once you have those great competencies, it gives what you call credibility. Now, credibility, because you become credible in the eyes of the people you manage, the people who work for you. They say he is got the best character as a boss. He's got also the competence. So we give him the credibility to lead us. And once you have credibility, it gives you what they call trust. That's trust. And trust is huge. And once you have trust, it gives you what they call influence. Now, leadership is all about influence. Our leadership courses are highly inspired by the Welsh ways. We are products of Jack Welch, and we've studied Jack Welch for the last 10 years plus, and we're excited to give back Jaguar's models of leadership to people. Because it wins. It's leadership that's immediately applicable, actionable, affordable, and adaptable. It's not about theories. We don't come to the classroom with theories. We bring you immediately actionable programs, which you can study today on Monday, share on Tuesday, use on Tuesday, and share on Wednesday. So it works like magic. And I tell you, everybody who has done our leadership model tells you it's a winning strategy. We define leadership as it ought to be, and we use all the skills people deserve to have it right. The first thing about being a leader is you should know yourself. The first thing about being a leader is self-awareness. The first thing about leadership is to have what we call emotional intelligence. Now, emotional intelligence is how you relate with your environment. It's how you relate with the people. How you manage your emotions vis-a-vis the people who work for you. And you use different leadership styles to do that. There are several leadership personalities. I'll tell you there are some people who are very domineering. If you do what we call a disc profile, some people are very domineering. Some people who are very influential. There are others who are very conscious, and there are others who are very stilted. So when you do a disc profile, you see all those qualities come in it. But there are also profiles, like personality profiles, which you call the Myers personality profile, which you can do also. You have to know who you are to be able to know how to manage people. Sometimes people get over-tempered. Some people are autocrats in their management styles. Some are very democratic in their management styles. Some are very affiliative. You hear things like affiliative leadership styles. You hear about dictatorial leadership styles. They have many leadership styles. But you can use any as per the opportunity, and you can use all if it comes to that. But there's no way you can be a leader without a leadership style. That course tells it all. Team means what? Together, everyone achieves more. Now, managing people means being in a position to influence change, bringing excitement in the game. Your job as a leader is not knowing it all. It's delegating authority. Your job is to create an environment where people are more intelligent than you. So you've got to start as a leader to do what we call the 70-20-10, which is called your ability to listen 70% of the time, ask questions 20%, and you act. The most important job of any leader anywhere is listening. The greatest thing a leader can be is a great listener. And you can't be a listener when you talk too much and when you're the only one who knows everything. Your job is to listen. If you want to have a winning team, you have to listen to them. You have to delegate responsibility to them, not abdicate, because most people are in the position of abdicating responsibility. Your job as a leader is to coach people, set the objectives very straight, inspire, motivate, and set direction. So you must have a vision. Vision is the picture of the future. Vision is what people come to work every day looking around, and you must communicate that vision in a manner that people are excited to come to work because of the vision. It's very compelling and bold. Now you must have a mission. What's the mission of the organization? It must be spelled clearly. People must know where they are going to. People must know where they are going to. And then you must have values. Values are behaviors. What behaviors do you want your people to have as they come to work? Is it team building? Is it friendship? Is it being very communicative? Having a culture where people are transparent? The greatest, and I've traveled all over the world and I've taught leadership in many places. Every time I go to an organization, I ask, what is your vision? And hardly you hear anybody say they know it. I can tell you, 100 companies have trained in Cameroon and people hardly know what's the vision. It's shameful. It's shameful when people don't understand where they are coming and where they are going to. And values are the fuel that you put in the mission to drive the vision. Don't forget, vision is defined as the picture of the future. What future do you want your people to have? They said, you can have more money, but you can never have more time. And time is huge in anything you do. The Africans always say African time is elastic. No, time is part of the essence of a great leader. Great leadership is about how you manage the scarce resources you have, and one of them is time. Time management is huge. Time management is because people don't have as much time as you think. And commitments, they say you must have what they call commitment. It takes commitment to start, and it takes consistency to finish. What commitment are you getting your people involved in? What is commitment? What is commitment? You must be able to inspire your people in the workplace to have commitments, to come to work. They must have that commitment to be consistent about working and also using their time cleverly. So time is a very important value you can have even in your team. Lots of people today get into positions of leadership with no training. And that is very, 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 very tempting. Lots of people today are waiting appointments. They come out of school, they're appointed, and they have no skills. And most people think that you can become a leader or a manager overnight. No, leaders are not born. Leaders are trained, they are groomed. You become a leader. Titles are conferred, leadership is earned. So this whole idea of being appointed in a position of authority and you think you're a leader, it's a shame. It's a big shame. And many people get into positions of authority and they can't confuse you. Let me now define you. Half and 99% of people you see who have titles are in authority, but they don't know. And they claim they are leaders. You understand? Authority comes with what? Command, control, fear. Fear means forget everything and run. And every time you see somebody in authority, it's either coming with a siren, it's coming with bodyguards, it's coming with people around him pushing people. Leaders inspire followers to follow them. People in authority scare people to go away from them. And most people you see in positions of leadership are in authority. And they said, what again I repeated, I said, titles are conferred, leadership is earned. That's not all. Leadership is earned. You don't only earn leadership, I would want to add it more and say leadership is a combination of many skills. And you don't achieve them once, you learn every day. You have to attend seminars like the ones we have in TCLD to be able to know which skills you need because you have to adapt to situations. The first thing being a successful leader is to do what? Serve as a coach. But you must have what we call the generosity gene. What I call the generosity gene means that you must have time for your people. You must listen to them. You must be able to delegate effectively. You must be able to understand them. You must be able to communicate your vision in an effective manner that people in the organization understand it. You must be able to do what we call evaluation. Now, successful leaders are people who can measure. They say there's nothing, you cannot manage anything you can't measure. And you must be able to understand the different competencies of your staff. Who is good in communication, who is good in whatever, and be able to put the right person in the right place. And you must be the example. You can't say let everybody come to work at 8 o'clock and you come at 10. You can't tell people, don't do this and your daughter is working with you and doing that. You must allow complacency in the game. Complacency has killed a lot of organizations. You say A and you practice B. You must be consistent. It's a very rich course. I would advise everybody to take. We negotiate every day. Every day in our lives, we're negotiating something. Negotiations are around. It's about building relationships. And in negotiation, you have two things. They have three things actually. You have the win, lose, which means I win and you lose. You have the lose, which means both of us will lose. And you have the win-win. These are the three things that are important in any negotiation. And conflicts come as a result of poor negotiation. Conflicts are also things we're bound to see in the workplace. But as a leader, you must have those skills that will help you win and manage an organization that is conflict-free. But one thing is sure, great leaders are seen in moments of conflict. How they sail through it is a success story. We equip you, we give you We give you all the techniques, all the skills you need to be able to manage conflicts at all levels of your authority and win in the game. One of the greatest areas where decisions are made is in meetings. And one of the things people dread most in organizations are meetings. Why? Because they are not prepared, they are long, boring. Now, what an effective meeting is all about, you must have an agenda, you must prepare it, it's prepared, it's planned, prepared, and you circulate it to everybody to understand and bring the right people in. And any meeting that's above an hour is boring. It's a communications process. So make sure you keep the meetings and discuss what was on agenda. Make sure you bring the people who are supposed to be in the meeting, and make sure you follow up on decisions taken. I said a few minutes ago, we talk about appraising people. I can tell you, I doubt in Africa and in my life in Cameroon how many companies appraise people. And if you work for a company and you're not being appraised, you're not being evaluated, it's shame to you, shame to your manager. Shame to your manager, because you must know where you stand. Your job working for somebody is to know where you stand in the organization. So successful appraisal helps you to better. It tells you what you are doing right and what you can improve on. It's not an opportunity for witchcraft, for witch hunting. Appraisals don't mean that you should hate your enemy, give him the wrong evaluation. Your job is coaching them, understanding their weaknesses, helping them build on their strengths, and making them feel better. Because they say you cannot manage anything you can't measure. And so like human beings, we have to do that. So we talk about one of the ways of appraisal, we call it differentiation in the TCL. We're going to be teaching people about differentiation. Differentiation means the 20, 70, 10. How do you get the 20 people who give you the best results in the organization? What do you do with them? Of course, you have to embrace them. You have you've got to promote them. You've got to make them feel excited. The 70% who are the middle managers, who are the middle 70. These are just people coming to work. They have good hearts, but help them move into the 20%. You have the 10% who are just sitting on tables of lost dreams. These are people you will call the naysayers, And these are people who are always grumbling. How do you get them to move? You either advise them to take up other opportunities, but most often, that's where the problem in every organization is. The greatest asset in every organization are the people. It's not the logistics, are the people. And the job of a leader is understanding how to get those people excited to do the job. So managing people comes with a lot of skills you need to do. They call them soft skills, people skills. And these skills include the ability to communicate effectively so that the people get to understand the message. You've got to be able to manage crises, which you don't know when they will turn up. You've got to be problem-solving person, and you've got to understand your people. Because there's nothing like not understanding your people, not understanding how to motivate them, and being empathetic. Empathy means you're showing love for them, you're showing concern for them, and you're also acting as a coach. I said it over, you're like a parent and a pastor. Now, you're a parent once you want your children to be well-disciplined and better, and you're a pastor when you listen to their confession. So your job is constantly being in their lives to make sure that they see, they feel, and they breathe your presence. The greatest asset in every organization are the people. It's not the logistics, are the people. And the job of a leader is understanding how to get those people excited to do the job. So managing people comes with a lot of skills you need to do. They call them soft skills, people skills. And these skills include the ability to communicate effectively so that the people get to understand the message. You've got to be able to manage crises, which you don't know when they will turn up. You've got to be problem solving person, and you've got to understand your people, because there's nothing like not understanding your people, not understanding how to motivate them, and being empathetic. Empathy means you're showing love for them, you're showing consent for them, and you're also acting as a coach. I said it over. You're like a parent and a pastor. Now, you're a parent once you want your children to be well disciplined and better, and you're a pastor when you listen to their confession. So your job is constantly being in their lives to make sure that they see, they feel, and they breathe your presence. Like I talk about the 2070-10 area, which we call in leadership differentiation. Welsh way leadership, which we train, is called differentiation. Now, you want to understand the 20% of the people who give you joy every day as you come to work. What do? You've got to celebrate them. Your job is to continue to train them, make them, give them everything to do, give them resources to excel. Your job as a leader is to develop other leaders. So you've got to come every day and be paranoid about change. Your life has got to be very paranoid about change. Your joy is to see people better than you. You've got to develop every quality. You say you're finding a better way every day to get your people excited to be able to deliver on results. Because the whole idea about leadership is results, it's performance. Nothing else. It's not about the position. It's not about the title. It's about the results that you give. Lots of problems we have in organizations today is caused by stress. And you have leaders who haven't got a sense of emotional intelligence. So they can't regulate their anger. And everything they do, they seem to scold their staff in a manner that the staff are not excited to come to work. They are stressed. So people don't have the right remuneration. People don't have the right motivation, the right working environment, and even the right working hours. So they come to work, they're very stressed over the job, and then they have to multitask in some cases. You've got to find a way of letting your people relax. You've got to let them enjoy the job. You've got to find a way every day, as I said, of letting people come to the job and go for the passion that the job comes with. That's stress. And me, I said it every day, and I've said it in all classes. What should take you out of your bed every morning is passion. Why do I have to sleep? Why don't I go to work on Sundays? What to take you to an office on Saturday and Sundays should be your passion. And that's what the workplace is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a place where people come and get fun. Work is supposed to be fun. Work today should be fun. And that's what at Tayong Center we want people to understand. Work is not some kind of burden. And when people get stressed because they find themselves in what we call career purgatory. So many people today are into jobs they don't like. Mom and pop jobs. Get me out of here jobs. But they have to earn a salary. They are stressed because they don't like the boss, they don't like the environment, they don't like the people, and they don't even like the whole colleagues. And when people find themselves in that puddle, stress is the next thing you see. But you, the boss, you've got to be able to clear your office of all of this. Bring excitement every day as you come in. Learn to motivate your staff. Give them bonuses at the end of the year and make them own it. Once people know that they own the organization, they will excel. They will develop the passion. And once you delegate, I've repeated myself over and over, because the greatest you can give to people is to delegate authority, not abdicate. And once people know that I'm in charge, I'm part of the organization, you tend to see winning. And winning is all about you being the coach, and you're shouting on both sides of the stadium and giving them praises and hugging them by the end when they come out of the game. That's your job. Your job is also able to understand your own self-awareness. As a leader, who are you? Manage your emotional intelligence. I would want to say, everybody will still change. Change is a constant. They say either you're growing or you're swelling. People would have developed themselves because there's nothing as personal development. People will be able to manage situations. They will be able to lead teams. They will be able to deliver on results and manage time with a lot of commitment and be able to inspire and generate a certain kind of following. The whole thing we are trying to do at the Tayong Center is to develop what we call a mindset change. Lots of people are still living in their comfort zones. Things will not be the same again after Corona. The coronavirus, which you see, is going to bring in a new world order where people will have to think out of the box with more innovative ways of thinking. So we are right on time to help people build on the skills to be able to overcome the challenges of tomorrow. And I think this is where we want to reach. That I'm passionate about what I'm doing, and so I want them to be passionate about change. They should not just be passionate about being able to change, because the only thing that doesn't change is a tree. So many people have found themselves on one spot for the last 20, 30 years. No! They say the day you stop learning is the day you start dying. Your ability to learn something new every day enables you to grow. When you don't want to learn, you're swelling. And you become like a tree on the same spot. Then you find yourself in a career purgatory. Then you find yourself in a get me out of your job. So many people are in those kind of careers because they don't want to learn anything new. But once you equip yourself with the essential leadership skills to lead people, to lead your life, you find that you are sellable. Organizations will buy you. You become unbeatable. And in today's workplace, it's not about your hard skills. It's not based on how fast you came in class. It's how much you can influence people. It's about your attitude. Because they say your attitude defines your altitude. And that's very important today for anybody who's looking forward to influencing people and managing change. You've got to develop the right attitudes for work. You've got to think out of the box. And you've got to create a culture of learning. I can tell you, I spend 6 to 8 hours every day learning because I want to know more. I don't think I know enough. I want to listen to people who are better than me. I'm excited about innovation, and that's what these courses should give people. People should see themselves changing and getting bonuses and promotions in their workplace after attending our courses. And that's why we call them life-changing courses. Because it works like magic, it works like hell. I've heard people call back to say, I've been seen differently in my workplace because I attended your leadership course. We thank them. We ask them to continue to take more courses. It's the most important thing. Education is the only thing that will help you grow. Education is huge. Learning today and leading tomorrow. That's my message. If you learn today, you lead tomorrow. We want to be able to evangelize Africa, starting from Cameroon, with a new way of thinking, which is the Welsh way leadership. I am an apostle of Jack Welch, and I believe that what Jack Welch has put into me, if I give it back to my continent, in the next 5 years, we'll have a new brand of leaders. Leaders who will lead us with the fear of the Lord. Leaders who will lead us with love, with compassion. Now, one of the greatest things that we want to see people have today, compassionate leaders. Once you see somebody who has compassion, reward it. We're creating a crop of compassionate leaders. And I want it to be understood for the last time that leadership is not about your position. I don't want people to start thinking as leaders, because you can lead from anywhere. People emerge as leaders. You are not born a leader. So continuously, we will push our message out there, help people through our coaching classes. We already have the online platform. We will continue to encourage people to take our classes. Online, go to www.tcldafrica.com. Get a course. Our courses don't cost much. They are just a token, and learn as much. Get as much people's skills, improve your communication skills, improve your people management skills, improve your problem solving skills, improve your conflict management skills. Those are the ingredients to lead. If you don't have them, you cannot lead. I'm sorry to say this. So many people are from school fresh, and some say they've not been appointed. They want to be appointed to authority, to bring fear in the game, not to perform, not to give results. Leadership is about results. Leadership is about results, and that's what we talk about, results-based management, which was founded by the father of modern management, Peter Drucker. But we're also talking about Welsh ways, which is learning today and leading tomorrow. It's very important that people understand leadership is huge.